want to, first of all, I want to apologize. I know that we were scheduled to start at 2. We actually did start at 2. It's just in trying to get dates, and as hopefully you'll see, to try and get dates that line up with everything that has to be done in this case, the schedules of attorneys, considering the schedules of witnesses. It's just so much easier, candidly, for me to do it back in chambers. It would be an absolute madhouse for my court reporter to try and take down everything that's being said in chambers. You know, I likened it just a minute ago to basically trying to get, 4 families together to plan a family vacation a year away and trying to figure out all of the schedules and all of the things that has to happen. So I appreciate your patience on this. We have been working. We thought we had a date, and all of the dates were working, and then we had to go back and redo those dates. So I appreciate your patience, and as you'll see here, it is somewhat involved. So let me go ahead and put down on the record then what I believe we have all worked out on this. June 1st, 2016, Tom Bevel, the state's expert, scene reconstructionist expert, his report will be due, subject to supplemental as the DPS analysis of some remaining items is completed. August 1st, 2016, the defense experts will be disclosed. October 14th, all expert reports, both state and defense, are due. January 17th, 2017, the state's experts' rebuttal, if any, reports are due. January 31st of 2017, all witness interviews will be completed. And that includes both fact and expert witnesses. On February 28th of 2017, all substantive motions will be due. On March 13th, responses will be due. All parties have waived replies. On March 23rd and 24th, dang, I forgot to ask Carrie. Let's go off the record for a second. Yeah, are we duty that week of the CPTC, March 23rd? Okay, all right, thanks. Why are we going so late on that one? Okay, all right, so August 17th at 4:30. Okay, thanks. And then we're duty on that CPTC, okay, all right. Thank you. Okay, so I'm duty court judge on the week of the March 23rd, 24th, so we'll start at 9 a.m. for the comprehensive pretrial conference, and I'll issue my pretrial orders on that. Now, really the thing that I'm going to be looking for is, and I want to let the parties know, those are basically my blanket orders that I set out. So where those dates may conflict with these dates, use these dates, all right? What I'm really going to be looking for, hopefully, is, and what I really need to have in are the jury instructions, and that I can have the proposed final jury instructions, because I'd like to have those somewhat solidified by that date so we can go over them. I realize, during trial we'll probably be spending a few hours getting them all ready at the end of the trial, because we obviously don't know what's going to happen. But I'd like to have those in and prepared, and I'll go over those a little bit more when we get closer to those dates. I'll give some instructions on that. So we're setting jury trial for April 4th, 2017. And Mr. Davidson, Mr. Cowan, will your client waive time to April 4th, 2017? All right. Now, we'll turn to the state. Have I misstated or gotten the dates wrong at all?
No, Judge, that sounds right, and we're in agreement.
All right, Ms. Davidson, is that right? Did we get the dates right? That's correct. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, the next thing that we needed to address, as I indicated at the last, I'm sorry, I'm going to put a case management conference for August 17th at 4:30. Defense counsel can call in. I'm in trial that week, so that's why I've just got to set it kind of late in the day on that day. But we'll set a CMC for August 17th at 4:30. All parties can appear telephonically. Now, at the last comprehensive pretrial conference, I indicated that depending on some information that would come out from the review of Mr. Jones' conditions of release, I would be willing to reconsider the denial of the modification of Mr. Jones' release. The parties agreed to allow me to have an ex parte communication with Maricopa County Adult Probation Pretrial Services Division. I did have that discussion with them in this case. I talked to the division director, Ms. Rathburn. She indicated that Maricopa County would be willing to supervise Mr. Jones, but under certain conditions. The conditions that they laid out was that Mr. Jones would relinquish his passport, that he would be on a curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., that the parents, and this is based on the understanding that Mr. Jones would be living with his parents, that the parents would agree to searches of the home and an affidavit by the parents that they will not possess or not possess any weapons in the home. That Maricopa County be given the ability to adjust the conditions of release as determined necessary. For example, they said, what if Mr. Jones is able to get a part-time job during that time? They would want the ability, based upon his performance, to be able to allow him to engage in that. Obviously, he would be allowed to go to hearings here in Flagstaff, obviously be able to meet with attorneys as well down there. So they wanted some flexibility with that. Mr. Jones will be responsible for the payment. Now, there was a little bit of an issue. Maricopa indicated they wanted Coconino County to pay. Mr. Jones would ultimately have to be responsible for the payment, whether it would be to Maricopa County or to Coconino County. They also wanted to ask that the county attorney's office provide, and it would be done obviously confidentially, any of the victims or their families who reside in Maricopa County, because they have the ability to set up exclusion zones. This is real-time 24/7 monitoring, GPS monitoring, and they would be able to set up exclusion zones and know if Mr. Jones was in an area that he should not be in. I have, again, reviewed the public safety assessment, the arguments and the responses and arguments of counsel, obviously considering the victims and the victims' representatives, the parents' statement regarding their concerns about the release of Mr. Jones. However, I am going to modify his conditions of release. I'm going to release him to 24-hour continuous GPS monitoring, to pretrial services, Maricopa County Adult Probation. You will be responsible, Mr. Jones, for abiding by all of the conditions that they set. You will relinquish your passport. That passport will be provided to the Clerk of Superior Court for keeping during these proceedings. You will be released to the maximum conditions under pretrial services for adult probation. You will not be released until the GPS monitor is installed and verified as working. So you will remain in custody until Maricopa County is able to install it. They will come up here. I expect them to be up here probably within the next couple of days and install it. It must be working before you're released. You will be responsible for payment of the service. Understand if you miss a payment, I'm going to haul you back into court because that's really what is going to happen. I'm going to haul you back into custody. You will not consume, obviously you're underage, but I'm ordering you not to consume any alcoholic beverages. You're not to associate or have any contact with the named victims in this case or their representatives. You will be on a curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Or as determined necessary and appropriate by Maricopa County Adult Probation. Also, any place you live must, and I assume your parents must provide an affidavit that there are no weapons in your home and agree to the search of your home by Maricopa County Adult Probation in order to ensure that there are no weapons there in your home and you don't have any access to those weapons. Does the state have any other conditions that they believe should be brought up?
Judge, the state would ask for house arrest. Also, we're concerned about his access to weapons outside of the home. If he's allowed to go to, I don't know, shooting ranges or any other place, a friend's house where guns are available, that's a concern for the state, not just in the home, but anywhere. So I think an order needs to be in place that he not possess any guns or have access to any guns.
Also ordered.
Thank you.
Ms. Walsh, did you want to? You can address the court. That's fine. Go ahead. I'm obviously going to rely on your expertise too.
Would you address any type of tampering or cutting by the defendant for the monitoring device? What instructions you want us to take?
Arrest him immediately. All right. Mr. McCowan, I think you were arguing release. Anything you want to place on the record?
No, Your Honor. We'll comply with all of your orders.
All right. I want to make sure that as this goes along, if Maricopa County believes that there are certain conditions of release that must be imposed, that they would like to see imposed, then I'm very likely to go ahead and impose them on that. But those are the things that they requested, and they've agreed to take courtesy supervision in this case for pretrial services. Mr. Shay, Mr. Barker, anything further?
Not on that issue, Judge. Thank
Okay. Any other issue?
We just wanted to put on the record that we are working with the defense to set up defense interviews, and so that's ongoing. As noted in chambers, we also expect the DNA results to be here within a couple weeks.
Okay.
So, thank you.
All right. I appreciate you being able to contact Mr. Bevel and DPS while we were back there in chambers as well. I appreciate being able to do that. Mr. McCowan, Mr. Davidson.
Nothing from us.
All right. All right. We'll stand adjourned. Hear from everybody August 17th at 4:30 p.m. We stand adjourned. Did you give him that image of that?